I don't care if anybody comes, I'm reading in a few minutes anyway. Damn! Damn you! You killed my brother. Now I must kill you. Boom, boom, boom. Lottie-dottie, I like to party, cause a lot of trouble and I bother everybody. Take one more of these, where are they? Boom, 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 boom. 500 milligrams, see? That's what the bottle says. Don't take more than 4,000 in one day. That's a better Buddha man. That's a better. Bong, 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 Baka? Baka? Bok, 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 Baka? Alright, we have two yet. Whoa! Where the fuck did all you people come from? Hey, Relentless, what's up? Hey, buddy, how are you? Scuffed, hey, you're here too? Cool. Damn, I went over there to make a cup of coffee. I came back, there was nobody here, 16 people. I appreciate you guys, big time. I appreciate it big time. Oh, Scuffed, you got my response to that, right? I'm not talking about that stuff. I just want to make sure you heard me. It's dumb. I don't want to hear about it. So, hey, is everybody doing good? I hope. I'm going to go right into reading, so if you guys want to listen, talk amongst yourselves, do whatever you like. Hey, Alejandro, how you doing? Oh, I'll be right back. I got to get my prayer book. I forgot. I start everyone with a prayer, and I have my prayer book here. No, oh, I thought it was inside. It's right here. All right, it's 2 o'clock, right? I said I'll start at 2. 2 o'clock is beautiful. Today is April 13th. Oh, okay. I don't care. That's why, never mind. I'll be honest with you, I don't want to mention his name because, me and King, we're no longer friends. So, he's being a whatever, and I just don't want to talk about it. 'Cause what he does, I don't care. What I do, he should not care. So, let's move on. April 13th, for those of you that like the prayers, it says Acts 2:4. All of them were filled with the Holy Spirit and began to speak in different languages, as the Spirit enabled them to do so. And the prayer is, Heavenly Father and Son, Jesus, send your Spirit of truth into me. Only then can I see my littleness and your greatness. Please, Lord, heal me of my broken heart. That's out for King. He's got a broken heart, apparently. Anyway, all right. I hope everybody's into it. Yes, that was it. Amen. Thank you, Relentless. Amen. I pray for everybody, man. I try to be a nice guy. I was a bad person. I tell you guys all the time. And you're going to find out how bad I was very shortly. But this story I'm going to tell next, it's called To Win or To Lose. Like I wrote in the description, I doubt you guys read it. It's what I didn't... The thing that turned me away from... I was in Catholic school from kindergarten, from 1st grade to 8th grade. And this was in, I think, 7th or 8th grade. And this was what really made me fucking hate Catholic school. Anyway, during the ages of 8 through the early part of turning 13, I was very into baseball, and basketball at this time. I was playing, well, not bragging, but I was an above-average ball player in all sports. Mostly because since I was 5, I played with my cousin who was 2 years older than me and his friends. So I became better because I played with them. So I was better than the kids my age, always. I was playing baseball for Gil Hodges Little League. I also played baseball and basketball for my school, which was St. Mary, Mother of Jesus. In basketball, I was a starting point guard. We were never the best team in the league, but we always had a winning percentage over 500, and we were always competitive. But let me slow down. Somebody told me I was reading too fast. Each Catholic school in our league held an annual tournament during the season. The host would invite 7 other teams to the tournament. Single game eliminations. Our 2 biggest rivals were St. Patrick's and St. Rosa Lima. When we played St. Patrick, our games were close and very nasty. Well, as nasty as 11 and 12-year-olds in Catholic school can get. St. Mary held tournaments on Thursday nights in our gym, and they charged admission to get in. Can you believe that? They charged our parents money to come watch us play basketball. If your parents didn't have money, they couldn't come watch your game. In my experience throughout my life, I have come to find that Catholic schools are all money hungry and a little corrupt. Usually the people who give the biggest donations, their children get special attention, which really sucks for the rest of us. One year we had a free throw shooting contest at our tournament. I happened to be the best free throw shooter on my team. Now how it works was there were 8 teams in our age bracket. Each team had 1 representative. During the first round of the tournament, it would be reduced to 4 people. Each person goes one against the other until we get down to, the last 2. You take 5 shots, then the other guy takes 5 shots, and so on until you hit 20 shots. Whoever makes the most free throws wins. Well, I breezed through the first round. I think I hit 18 out of 20 to like 12 out of 20 for the other guy. The next round, the following Thursday, the second round of the tournament, same result. I breezed once again, hitting 17 out of 20 as compared to the other guy who hit like 13 out of 20. We had gotten knocked out as a team on the last night, losing to St. Patrick. Following Thursday is the last night of the tournament and the free throw shooting contest. St. Patrick's loses in the finals. What a relief to us. My whole team was there. Everyone came to watch that game and me in the free throw contest. Do you know what? Thank goodness I was in the contest, or I would have had to pay to watch St. Patrick's play. That night, Father Devlin, he was the priest who ran all the sporting activities in St. Mary's, was front and center. Our gym wasn't tremendous, but had a basketball court in the middle. Not a regulation-sized court. It was maybe 5'8", the size of a regulation court. At one end was a huge plexiglass window, and then there was 15 feet of open space, and then the beginning of the basketball hoop. At the other end of the court, there was a stage for plays and shit when we did plays. I don't have this in here, but I was Geppetto in the 5th grade. They put fucking powder on my head, gave me glasses. It's pretty cool. Okay. The stage. That's where Father Devlin was, directly under the basket. Anyway, let's get past all that shit. And everybody else was to the right, where the parents were at the end of the court. Okay, so we go up, me and the guy I'm shooting against, and Devlin tells us the rules, Father Devlin. You both take 20 legal free throws, whoever makes more wins. We begin. I make 5 out of 5. Now it's his turn. He hits 3 out of 5. I go 4 out of 5. I'm now 9 of 10. He goes and hits 3 of 5. He's 6 of 10. Next round, I only make 3 out of 5. Now I'm 12 of 15. But if he goes 2 for 5, now he's 8 of 15. I only need 2 to clinch. He goes first, being that he is behind, and it can make it interesting if he hits them all. He makes 4 out of 5 to tie me. Then I proceed to hit 5 for 5 for the win. Father Devlin, microphone in hand, announces the boy's name and says he got second place. He then hands him the second place trophy for the shooting contest, and everyone applauds. Then he announces my name, and the stands go crazy. I didn't realize that I had the entire gym rooting for me. I guess I should have known. After all, it was my home court. He then hands me my first place trophy, and I'm off doing high fives with the guys from my team and getting pats on the back from some of the parents, especially Mom and Duck. Feeling really good, I hang around to watch the final game in the in which the older team from St. Mary's had made the finals. Halfway through the first quarter, Father Devlin comes to me and says, "You shot against the wrong guy in the free throw contest." I say, "Huh?" Turns out that the kid I shot against had lost in the previous round, and the kid that beat him just showed up. I'm thinking to myself, no problem. I hit 20 at 20, and that will be that. At halftime of the game, we are watching. Father Devlin calls us out. Same as before. The people in the stands don't know what's going on. They're confused. No one explained to them what was happening. The explanation slowly made its way around the gym. Okay, here I go first. Just before I start, I noticed Father Devlin go on the stage and disappear behind the curtain. I only noticed this because he usually sits right under the basket for all of these. Oh well, boom, I hit 5 of 5 to start. When the other kid starts, I see Father Devlin emerge from behind the curtain and head down toward the court. The other boy hit 3 of his first 5. I again, while in the middle of shooting my next 5, Father Devlin takes his spot under the basket. I hit 4 of 5. Now I'm 9 of 10. The other kid starts out 2 of 3. As he is about to take his fourth shot, Father Devlin calls me over to him. Boom, the kid hits his fourth shot. I go over to Devlin and he asks him what he wants. He proceeds to tell me that the school needs me to lose this contest. He says there is no more second place trophies to give out to the other boy I beat. He only has the first place trophy that I gave back to him. Now my head is spinning, but it's my turn. Right now I know I'm winning. I have 9 in and he's only got 6. I get to the foul line, not sure what to do. I make the first 2 shots. And as I'm about to take the next free throw, I look at Devlin. And the look he gave me made me feel so bad that I purposely missed the next 3. The other kid hits two of his shots. The score is now, the kid had sunk 8 and I had sunk 7. I'm up there with 3 with only 5 shots left. I am up 3 with only 5 shots left. The kid goes first because once again, that's the last 5 shots. He does really well. He makes 4 out of 5, putting him at a final score of 12 out of 20. I could win this thing easily. Or could I throw it and look terrible doing so? I'm 11 years old. This is something a priest should never put on me, especially in Catholic school. If you've ever been to Catholic school, I'm stopped for a minute and it's stupid. And with the face he gave me, he was practically begging me to miss. I slammed the ball off the backboard 4 times. Watching was in shock. It was pretty obvious I was missing on purpose. For the last one, do I tie it up or just lose? I shoot the ball hard and bang it off the front of the rim. Father Devlin gives me a big smile and then proceeds to give that boy my trophy. I didn't wait for him to talk to me if he was going to. I walked immediately out of the gym. I explained what happened to the guys from my team that was still there. They all agreed that was bullshit. I tell this story because I say to myself, wow, these are some of the values I and others grew up with, taught by a priest no less. Save face at all costs. The lie justifies the outcome. Well, I disagree. As an adult, I know that if I were in Devlin's place, I would have just told the second kid the truth. All he had to do was say that he was late and we already did the finals. If he would like, we can do another final, but only the winner will be getting a trophy. There is no second place trophy. End of story. No, that's that one. Am I reading too fast or do you not give a shit? I'm going to read at least 2 more, so it's quick. That was only 10 minutes. I wanted to make a Broadway play, Frank, and you never fucking lying sack of shit. You never emailed me. I'll take that mod away. I'm only kidding. I'm joking. I don't give a fuck. That's funny. From a priest, no less. That's what really got me, Relentless. And I was only 11 or 12 at the time, and in a school that you really didn't grow up quick, but I did because of my lifestyle at home. But yeah, you were going to email me about your 10%, you bastard. No, you don't want the 10%? Negotiations off. You're out. You're funny. Anyway, the next one's quick. It's only two little pages, so I'm gonna move on. I want to get to where the violence start. I'm excited about getting to where my violence start because I still can't believe half the shit I did and got away with. Grilled cheese for lunch. If I had cheese and bread, no, I got cheese. I got no bread right now. I went to the store and I never picked it up. You have full creative control. Go right ahead, baby. I'm trying, Frank. Am I reading too fast? Is it going to work? No, he does not owe me any money. And I said before, I don't want to talk about him. He doesn't owe me anything. We're even. We're not friends. We don't talk no more. He goes about his life. I go about mine. We act like we never knew each other. Move on. I'm not going to keep saying it. This is called, I'll get back to the chat. I got at least another 2 hours before I got to shut down. What is it, 2 o'clock? No. I got another hour and a half, so I'm moving on. Self-destruction. In the 8th grade, which I've told you about before, that was just about 8th grade, and the shit with Dominic, that for those of you that missed it, this kid brought 20 guys to my school to beat me up. And when I came outside, they had bats, chains. When I walked out the door, if you missed the story, they all got mad at him. They were like, Dom, you bring us to beat up this little kid? Fucking beat him up. And they all walked away, and then I punched him a couple of times. And we were rivals. Anyway, that's when I started to become in the 8th grade, that's when I started to become all things you do not want your child to be. First was cigarettes. I started out first just trying to look cool and smoke cigarettes here and there. Eventually, every teenager who smokes gets caught by their parents or someone who knows their family. My time came one evening after a basketball game at St. Mary's. This was definitely 8th grade. When the game was over, a couple of friends and I went outside of the gym. Mom, Duck, and my brother were at the game that night. They went to get the car so that they could go home. The three of them pull up in the car, and Mom says out the window, "See you home in a little while, okay?" "Sure, Mom. See you later." And they drive off. I waited until they were out of sight, and I light up a smoke. At the age of 13, you start to think you're smarter than everyone. You start to think you're smarter than everyone. I thought I was a fucking genius at 13. Well, Mom proves for the first of many times that I'm not as smart as I think. I'm not as smart as I think I am. And parents aren't that stupid. She drives around the block and comes back. I figure she knew I was up to no good. I was just about to blow out smoke, and I hear Mom yell, "Get the fuck over here right now!" Damn, I'm busted. I got punished for a while, but of course, that didn't help. Around this time, I started to, for lack of better words, feel my oats. Even though I did not live in the same house as my cousins, I saw them just about every day and spent the majority of my time hanging out with my cousin Louie. You have to remember that Louie was 2 years older than me, and that I started out early in St. Mary's as being a so-called tough guy. In Catholic school, it doesn't take much for other kids to fear you, or as you have already read. And I was an angry boy who wouldn't hesitate to use his hands. Because of this, my cousin's friends liked having me around. I always felt that being only 5'2" at the time and being on the thin side, that the only reason they liked keeping me around was because there wasn't much I wouldn't do. 8th grade was a testing time. It was time to branch out and see how much we could get away with. It brought me along new ways of getting high. It also brought the end to me playing sports and going to school. When 8th grade started, I was probably a B+ student, 88 average across the board. By the time it was over, I became a D student, 70 average across the board. That's 2. What up, Red? So, I don't know if you guys even remember being fucking 13. D student confirmed. By the time I was done, I was an A student. Later on in life, after this book is over, it's still then, but I went to college 3 times. I went to Kingsborough Community College for accounting. It takes me time sometimes. I forget things. For accounting, and I held a 98 average for almost 8 months, almost a year. Then they made the mistake. I had Pell and Pell and the other grant, both of them. And they gave me, after about a year of 9 months and 10, whatever the fuck it was, in school, they gave me a check for $1,300. I went, bought an 8-ball of Coke and never went back. I was in my early 20s at the time. Then I went to 2 other colleges, Staten Island College. I did the same thing for the same thing. I was holding a 97.7 average, and they gave me money again, and I did the same exact fucking thing. I'm a dumbass. That's what you're going to find out is in the book, after the book. But up until I was 50, I just kept making the same mistakes. Make money and blow the money. Make money and blow the money. So, whatever. I'm glad you guys are talking about RD. You guys are fucking great. I love you. Dumbass Ron. Do better, fuckface. Yep, that's me. All right. I'm going on. You guys continue on. I'm going to do it if nobody was here, so it don't matter. There's only 4 of you. You guys are having a blast, and I love it. I hope so, Frank. If we are, I'll sit on that beach on Hawaii, which it's every day of the week. My grandsons and my family will be there, but yeah. I know, I'm only kidding, Red. I'm only joking. Like I said in the beginning, I don't care. I just want to get the book out there, man. I want to try to find somebody to work with me. And I got Hot Frank right now. Hopefully he's doing the right thing, and he can take, I told you, Frank, go to TikTok. On my TikTok page, man, I did the whole book already. This is the second go around. So, I like the rich part. I don't need to be famous. I'm famous up here. You can be famous. I'll give you all the credit, Frank. You can say you wrote it. I told you the book and you wrote it. I don't give a shit. I want the money. I've always wanted the money. And when I got the money, I usually blow the money a stupid way, but I still wanted the money. Not cool. Coca-Cola. All right, here we go. I'm going to 18. Father Knows Best. If you guys, I don't know if you pay attention to the titles. The titles are funny if you listen to what I'm talking about. I wrote some fucking titles that I was hysterical laughing about. The titles have to do, no Relentless, I don't have Cash App. If you're asking me, I only have PayPal. I had Cash App, and they told me I was a fraud, so they told me to go fuck themselves, pretty much. There's so many things out there, I can't believe they treated me like that. Anyway, sounds good. Father Knows Best. This is, I bring these stories in to give you an idea of what kind of guy my father was. My father was the funniest man I ever met in my life. Probably beside Richard Pryor. I never met Richard Pryor. But he wanted to be 18 his whole life. And he lived to be 30-something. And he liked to be high. He liked to laugh. He liked to be sarcastically funny. He'd goof. He'd make jokes. He just wanted to play like a kid. Kind of like me. That's all I ever fucking want to do. That's why I love being my grandson, because I like being 6 years old. Anyway. One of the times I went to Dad for advice, went something like this. It was very close to the end of 8th grade, and I was seeing this girl, Lisa. Dad and I were sitting on the couch in Great Graham's living room. I start telling Dad about Lisa, and he says to me, "How far have you gotten, horse?" I say, "All we do is make out. I want to touch some tit, Pop." He put on a smile. I'm going right back there. That's why I'm laughing. I remember it. I can see the whole conversation in my head. Excuse me for a second. I missed the bastard. I loved him. He put on a smile, and his chest kind of swelled up, like he was saying, "You have to come to the." It's like he was saying, "You have come to the king of titty touching. I will help you, peasant boy." He begins by telling me, "Next time you are making out with this girl, put your hand on her cheek and where is it? I know what it is. I just want to read it the way I wrote it. Gently slide the bottom half of your arm across her chest like this." I'm thinking to myself, this man is a fucking genius. He proceeds, "Let your elbow go back and forth, then switch hands. This man is brilliant. Brilliant, I tell you. If she lets you get away with this, the next step is to slowly bring your hand down to her chest." He pauses, laughs out loud, looks at me and says, by the way, as you're doing this, be prepared to get slapped. Then he laughs. He then says, if she slaps you, do not get mad. I said, huh? Horse, don't get angry at all. As a matter of fact, immediately apologize and tell her that you just thought that your relationship had gotten strong enough that it would be okay to do it. And you will not do it again until she is ready. I tried to compute all of this information at 13 years old. I said to him, I'm never going to be able to remember all that. He laughs and says, then say, sorry, bitch, thought you wanted it. Oh, I'm laughing at my own shit. Now we're both hysterical laughing. We leave off with him telling me, just say whatever comes easiest for you to say. The next time I'm with Lisa, here is what went down. Hand on cheek, check. Elbow to titty, check. So far, so good. I got excited. I didn't follow the full instructions. Instead of switching hands, I go straight to hand on titty. When I put my hand on a tit, all she did was, at this point, I'm so nervous that I'm shaking. She stopped making out with me, and with a big smile on her face, looks me straight in the eyes and says, what are you doing? In semi-shockness, in shock, one, because I didn't get slapped, and two, did she say, what am I doing? I stuttered and said, I'm sorry. I won't do it again. Now she's laughing and says, that's okay. I kind of liked it. I laugh, she laughs. We begin making out again with my hand on a tit. This man is brilliant. Brilliant, I tell you. Damn, that dad is smart. Lisa and I broke up a week later. The point of this little tale being that even though he was not your Brady Bunch kind of dad, he was always there for me to talk to. He was an older and wiser friend than my friends. If you have children, take a second right now, or think that the answer has a chance to be no. Do not wait to begin, or to at least give it your best shot at learning how to talk to each other, you and your kids. When you do not have that type of relationship with your child, they will never forget it as an adult. Did you? Think about it. Get a little heavy on your ass at the end. You know, it's part of it. We weren't allowed to say shit when I was a kid. Somebody held you back. Thank you, Coca. Appreciate. Did you? Me too, Scuff Frank. I left for 3 months. I didn't get to that yet, but it'll come up. Yeah. I think I just turned 14. Might have been 13 and a half, closer to 14. I'm an elbow tit guy too, yeah. Well, I learned from the best. My father I called him a male hoe. He literally was a male hoe. He didn't pay for it. Some women even paid him for it. But yeah, he was a fucking machine. He liked to be from the age of 18 till 32 or 34. I'm so confused sometimes how old he was when he passed. But yeah. He was 32 or 34. I'm going to go again. I'm just ripping along. What's this? Oh, this story. This is a funny story because it shows kind of I'm not going to read it because I know exactly what the story is. I'm just going to tell it and make it a lot shorter than the read. Or should I read it? Hot Frank, you tell me, buddy. It's 5 long pages, 6 pages. I could probably do it better in just talking about it. Sweater meat? Whatever the fuck the guy's talking about. You didn't answer my damn question, motherfucker. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. This is a long one. I just did what? 16, 17, and 18, which were all pretty short. That's not what I asked you, dumbass. Yeah, this is my passion, bro. It really is, Frank. I wrote this book over 10 to 12 years ago. I think it was 2017. No, yeah, well, that wasn't 10 years ago. It was only 8 years ago. Read from the script, fuckface. All right. I'm going on. You guys discuss what you need. This is friend, not father. Because my dad was never my father. He was my friend. After the last, what I just read, this was the start of our friendship. Because we were more like friends than father and son. We had started smoking pot together. Dad and I would have quite a few adventures over the next few years. Though the years didn't span the amount of time I would have liked. We sure as hell did have a lot of fun. One weekend over summer vacation, I must have been 12 years old. I was at Graham's and had Dad waiting for me downstairs when I got there. I'm not there 10 minutes. While talking to my grandmother at the kitchen table, Dad yells up the stairs, "Come on, horse, let's go to the beach." Oh, this is a funny story. I forgot this one comes first. Naturally, I immediately say goodbye to Graham and Gramps and take off down the stairs. Just to let you know, I really didn't like the beach that much and would rather just go to Coney Island and play pinball. Anyway, we headed to Coney Island Beach. Dad did not have a car, so we used to take the train to Coney Island. It was the last stop on what used to be called the B train. It took us 5 minutes to walk to the train, and once on the train, it was 3 stops. It took about 15 to 20 minutes, and we were there. As we're walking, strutting, if you remember, as usual, because Dad told me, don't worry about the crazy people, we are the crazy people. We're strutting to the train. We are just bullshitting about school and sports. Dad in stride says to me, "Hey horse, maybe we get lucky and pick up a mother-daughter team at the beach." I thought this was hysterical. I figured that was his way of getting me to go to the beach without me complaining, that I would rather be playing pinball. Like I said, I really didn't like the beach that much, and he knew that. I would much rather have been at Shady Park, which was a park right near my grandmother's, and let him throw me some of his pitches so I could smack the hardball all over the field. Shady Park was mainly a huge baseball field. I loved watching him run around the park chasing those balls. Shady Park had 2 baseball fields on the other side of the park. They were facing each other. Dad used to throw fastballs, change-ups, curveballs that moved nicely, and then a slider that dipped. Like I said, I would smack it all over the field at 12 years old. Right, center, left. It seemed like the balls were everywhere. We did this when I was between the ages of 10 to 12. He was always amazed when I was hitting whatever he threw. I don't think that he was acting like that because I was his son. He was genuinely amazed. To some degree, so was I. Other kids my age would come in the park, but when it came to baseball, I knew that I was really, really, really good. And the other kids would ask if they could play. Dad always would say yes. Thinking back, I think Dad wanted the kids to play just so he wouldn't have to chase those fucking balls around. When they would be at bat, Dad would pitch to them the same speed as he pitched to me. Majority of the time, they couldn't touch the ball. And they would ask him to pitch slower. When my turn came to bat again, he would go back to pitching faster. And the other kids were pretty amazed that I could hit the ball. I was always smaller than everybody else, as I have already said. I repeat that a lot, because I realized as I got older, it did bother me. But I acted like it didn't back then. Getting back to that day at the beach. After I stopped laughing, Dad says to me, "What's so funny? I'm serious." I realizing that, oh shit, he was serious. I said, "Really?" He said, "Yeah, really." "Why? Don't you like girls? Or are you my little sissy boy?" And he starts laughing. You never know when to take him serious. Oh, wait. Or is that me he's talking to? So I changed my tune quickly. I stuck out my chest and said, "Let's go do it." And we were off. On the train, in our car, there was Dad, a woman, and some guy sitting to the left across from us reading the newspaper. Oh, yeah. There was a huge moth flying around in the car with only 4 of us in the train. Oh, I shouldn't have did that. Where was I? I lost my spot. Okay. There was this huge moth flying around the car. I got for a second. It lands right next to me on the seat. I try to hit it with my hand, but it flies away. Oh. Now I'm watching it fly around. Nobody else, because there's only two other people on the train, is paying attention except Dad. Train stops, the woman gets off. Remember, we're only going 3 stops. The woman gets off, no one gets on. Only 2 stops to go. In between stops, the Mort taunts me by flying directly at my face. I jump off the seat and try to retaliate, but the Mort flies away again. Now I'm steaming. This Mort wants war, it's war. Dad is sitting there laughing and shaking his head. The guy reading the newspaper hasn't budged. He's not paying attention to what is going on. The train stops, no one gets on, no one gets off. Next stop, Coney Island. As the train starts to roll, I pick up where the Mort is, and he's at the end of the car. I'm in the middle. I notice that on the seat right before where the Mort is, there's a newspaper. Yes, the perfect weapon for hunting moth. We are now almost at our destination. Time is running out. I think to myself, okay, time to make my move. I have to kill him before the train stops. So I start walking toward the newspaper. I grab it. I have it. I roll it up. I prepare it for the death blow. But no, the Mort senses that I'm on the attack. He flies toward the other end of the car. I have to act quickly. We're pulling into the stop. Oh, what is this? The Mort is taking sanctuary on the window behind the man reading the newspaper. The man is still oblivious to the situation. Dad, who has a big shit-eating grin on his face as he's been watching and laughing the whole time, looks at me and I look at him about this predicament. He knows what I'm thinking, so he looks at me, shrugs his shoulder as if to say, "It's up to you, horse." Well, in the blink of an eye, I take 3 steps and reach behind the man with the newspaper, rear back the newspaper, and smack! I got him! The man with the newspaper is so shocked by the bang of my death blow that he jumps off his seat, hits his head on the pole you hold on to. His newspaper goes flying. Dad is hysterical laughing. The guy, not so much. He was mad. Train stops. We all get off. Dad says to me, "Horse, sometimes you're fucking crazy." The guy just walks away, off to the beach. Now the best part comes. After getting off the train, Dad and I walk 3 blocks and then walk on and over the boardwalk to be standing on the edge of the sand. We got to the beach. Yippee! I figured Dad wasn't really going to look for my mother, for a mother-daughter team, I figured Dad wasn't really going to look for a mother-daughter team. But true to his word, Dad was looking for a mother-daughter team. While we're walking on the sand, by now we are maybe 15 feet away from the water, Dad sees a woman. She's very pretty, about his age, and bam, like a scene from a movie. She's with a girl about my age. We strut over to where they are sitting. They are both on beach towels that say, "I love New York." Now I have no clue what to say. Dad says hello, and I manage out a squeaking hi. They respond with a polite hello. Stuck for words, the girl and I look at Dad and this woman. Dad asks, "So what are your names?" They tell us their names. I have no clue what their names were. The woman then asks, "What are your names?" General information. For general information, both our names are Ronnie. Dad tells the woman that we are brothers. Okay, here we go. Let's see you get out of this one, Dad. Because he told the woman, "My name's Ronnie, and this is my brother Ronnie." As soon as the woman asked Dad, without hesitation, "My name is Ronnie, and this is my brother Ronnie," in my head, I'm saying to myself, he is really nuts. Then, without giving the woman or the girl a chance to respond to what he said, he continues. Our mother had an infatuation with the name Ronald. We even have a sister named Veronica. We call her Ronnie for short. Damn, that Dad is good. Making that up that we are brothers? Okay, I wanted to see him get out of it, but he did. Where was I? I lost where I was again. Oh, there it is. Here it is. Mom was in love. He thought Mom was in love. Not the actor. She wanted a couple more Ronalds, but Pop said 2 isn't enough. 2 is enough. Best part is, she bought it. The woman actually believed that this was true. Well, after getting her phone number, Dad and I walked away, hysterical laughing. Dad had gotten himself a date for later that evening. Me, I guess high wasn't that impressive. I love that story. That's just pretty funny. Whatever Brown is right, but I'm not going back to read whatever you guys are writing because this probably has nothing to do with me, so. People pay attention to monkeys. Woo, 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 ah, ah. Go fuck yourself, Red. You bastard. You killed Kenny. Powder blue is best for you. Powder green. No, Scuff. How many times are you going to ask me that, bud? You ask me that like you got every thing. Come on. I only have PayPal. Oh, in a suit? Why? It degrades from what I'm about to read about myself. It makes me look like I'm a fucking poser putting on a suit. That's not the guy I'm talking about. The guy I'm talking about dresses like me. It's easy, Scuff. My PayPal link, it's Ronald Newman 714@gmail.com. It's my email address. If anybody wants to email me, that's my address. My name 714@gmail.com. Anybody, see, I haven't gotten into it yet, but anybody can figure out why it's Ronald Newman 714. What do the numbers 714 represent? There's a quick trivia question for you. Let's see who comes up with a decent answer. 714. What's it for? Why is it there? Does anyone care? I swear. ASMR, I don't know what that means, Red. Assholes selling morphine foolishly. I have no idea. Really? That's cool. Wait till I tell you why that number, I put it there. Comically connected? Sounds good to me. I've been making jokes in the book. I don't know if anybody gets them. Maybe I'm reading them too fast. But the shit I say in the book, half the time, I make jokes about the situations. A little sarcastic. They're in parentheses written down, so I'm trying to... All right, I'll tell you what 714 is. Autonomous sensory meridian response is a relaxing, tingling sensation, often staring at the scalp and moving down the neck and spine, triggered by... Very good. Thank you. Thank you, Red. I appreciate that. Soft spot... I give out soft sounds that just emulate up and down people's spines. Ooh, sounds wonderful. That's funny shit. 714 for me... I fucking smile. Don't make me smile, man. I can't stand it. Another month. They're getting worse, my fucking teeth. Anyway, what I was saying was, I forgot. 714, right. I see it. 714. Very spiny. That's good. Let's spingle them out to everybody else. Sensual. No, I do it because I used to love Quaaludes in the beginning of the 80s, really beginning of the 80s, starting in 80 to, they stopped making them in 88, I think it was, 86, 88, something like that. I loved them. And the number that was printed on them, 714. That's why. I got charisma, girl. Scuffed, whoever said Quaalude, baby. I used to love those fucking things. I wish they still made them because that's what I would get. No, I wish. They don't make them. They don't make them. They haven't made them in many, many fucking years. Many years. Speaking of Quaaludes, the next chapter is, I just looked at the name of it. It's High School. Let me show you. It says, like, it's spelled H-I-G-H, but I don't mean it as high school. It's high school. I don't know how many pages I got, but this is the start. This is my Quaalude start. I love them motherfuckers. The way they made you feel. One time, scuffed. Let me tell you, I'm going to tell you this a quick story that's in the book that, how can I tell you this? I was so bad with Quaaludes that we stole 500 Quaaludes. I'm telling the story I got it. When I get to it, I won't tell it. I'll still read it because it's for the book. I stole this kid. It was me, this kid Joey, and another kid, Joey Scars, because he had scars all over his face from falling through a glass window when he was a kid. That kid stole 500 Quaaludes from his father. He came to me and my friend Joey and told us he stole them. Well, I stole them from him. I took them. I said, give me those fucking things. And I took 200. I gave 200 to my friend Joey, and Joey Scars, I gave him 100. What I did with those 200 was, I'd wake up at 7 in the morning. My mother would chase me out of the house. I was 14 at the time. Chase me out of the house to go to school, because she thought I was still going to high school, but I never went. And I would take 2 Quaaludes. Then at about 9:30, another 2. About 12 o'clock, another 2. About 3 o'clock, another 2. Then about 5 o'clock, another 2. And then to cap it off, about 8, 9 o'clock, hanging out with my friends, another 2 or 3. So I loved them. When my friends were taking 1, because they just wanted to be nice and mellow, I was eating 5, because I wanted to be like this. My whole teenage years, most of them, and the stories, I can't believe I remember them, was Angel Dust, Quaaludes, 2 and alls, from the age of 13 through 20. And I did some fucking wild ass shit. And I'm going to get to it. It's coming up now. It's going to start slow and get crazier and nuttier till I'm facing fucking 25 years in jail for attempted murder of a police officer. I gave it away in the back, but the story, I mean, how I got there, and it's fucking crazy. I'm getting to it, Frank. You want me to do the book right, buddy? You want to make the money or not? The Angel Dust doesn't come until, I think, I got to see what chapter I'm up to here. I'm up to 20 now. It comes at age 15, 14 turning to 15. I'm up to age 13, 14 now. I'm up to 20. High school, tough guy. Tough guy is chapter 21. My biggest mistake, right. See, I forgot what some of them are even about. Where's Tough Guy? Here it is. It's the same one. Yeah, I gotta get up to it. It's coming later. There's madness way before that. I used to read myself every night. Do you know how, I can't even count the amount I'm not bragging about it. I'm just saying, because I'm talking facts. I can't remember the amount of times that, I'll give you a story, it's probably in the book too. Here's another one, ready? One day, I had never, fucking nuts, never had to. I was a thief. There were times I don't know what happened, believe me. That's later in life, and some in here. But yeah, there were plenty of nights I don't remember where the fuck I was, what I did, who I was with. I'll give you one. There was a kid, there's one, to show you how fucked up I was. No Spanish fly, I never needed that shit. I was doing drugs to get high. I wanted to be high, where you're out of your mind, but you're still going. I wanted you to be tripping on Angel Dust. You know, Angel Dust gave you all sorts of sensations. You could be tripping one time, you could be the fucking Superman another time, and you could be scribbled in a corner, or you could be stuck there. You know, we called it stuck. You used to smoke, and then you'd be standing in the street and not able to move, like if you shot heroin. You ever see people shoot heroin? Well, we used to be like that on Dust, and you could be there stuck for anywhere from 2 minutes to fucking 4 hours. Crazy shit. Crazy shit. Anyway, let me see. What did I say? I'm up to 20. High school tough guy. Who is really your friend? Well, she worked it. Morning Joy. I got 7 more chapters to go before I hit Angel Dust. Just about. If you guys listen to the names of the chapters, not for nothing. Whoever's listening, if anybody's listening. I always say that, don't mind me. The next one is, who is really your friend? Then 23 is, was she worth it? 24 is Morning Joy. Just the names, if you follow the story, they're funny as fuck, like I said before. So, what time we got? 2:45. I'm going to go one more. Anybody that wants to, that's chapter 21. That's too much. It's this. Chapter 20. This one's long. I don't know if I want to read it right now. No, it doesn't come till about 20, this is still chapter 21. 21. Now 21 only has 2 pages. Let me see what 21's about. I mean 20. Bishop Ford. This is about when I first went into high school. All right. Ah, you remembered, Relentless. You remembered. Very good, very good. I'm surprised you remembered. I'm surprised anybody remembered. We will. I get to it. Believe me, Relentless. I will get there. Oh, no, it don't trigger nothing in me. It don't trigger shit in me. I've come to terms with who I am now. People pissing me off, that triggers something in me. Threatening me or, that triggers something in me. And then I can, and I don't do it. Very rare. I don't like going back to being that person I was. Because you're going to find out. I can't, there's some stories I can't tell because I don't know the conclusions. But if you understand that, you'll understand the next thing I'm going to say. If you don't understand that, hear what I'm going to say now. I got stories in here about people I beat within an inch of their life. I mean, literally, no joke, including a police officer. And I was in the wrong. The other ones I was in the right, I think. I don't know. We'll have to read the story and find out. But yeah, they're fucking crazy stories, man. It's fucking out of their mind. Out of their mind. Yeah, you guys, I love when you guys are having fun. I'm just hoping you're liking whatever part of the stories everybody gets. What am I wrong about, Red? You're a fucking pain in the ass sometimes, but you're a funny bastard. And I'll always say it. You're the only one that hung with me that night till I got fucking booted out. We need a mascot. Yeah. Alright. It's 2:50. Alright, I'll tell you what. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a 2-minute break. I need a cigarette. And I'll be honest with you, I need to hit a weed. So that's just what I'm going to go do. And I'll be back. I have to go outside for a cigarette. Can't smoke in the house. But I can't use my head while I'm here. I'm back too. Couple of drags of a cigarette. I'll be back. I like it when I catch a needle freak to tap. You heard my story? It's time I be leaving. It's not the radio. They said, good evening. Mr. Cosell said, damn, you're good. You'll be on TV in every neighborhood. I said, Super Rhymes, you're a real MC. We must put you on KBC. He said, I dress to impress. I come a little better than all the rest. Because I'm twice as nice. I never had an off day in my life. You see, I'll take all your money, bust out your wife. Make you dance to my beat all your life. Super rhymes, if you can do all that, then come on in and catch a neat freak attack. So I went inside and I started to bounce. Had all the ladies waiting for the chance. They said, isn't he cool with his widow's feet? And the great way he do the freak. He said, where I come from, it's not called the freak. It's the Transylvania boogie 7 days a week. I didn't get to dance with them all that night, because at the break of dawn, I saw sunlight. I said, I'm sorry to say, I cannot stay, but this vampire must be in before it turns day. Don't forget, I'll be back. I like it when I catch a need of freak guitar. You heard my story? It's time I'll be leaving. In Transylvania, we say good evening. Okay. I'm back in the New York groove. Yes, I'm back. Anyway. Okay. I'm back. Did you guys hear me singing that song? Yeah. I wasn't freestyling. I was singing a song from, it's called Super Rhymes. Super Rhymes. I didn't leave us with books on tape. No, that's on TikTok. TikTok, I already read the whole book. It's in chapters. All the way from the bottom up. You go left to right. Yes, I need intermission. Right, exactly. That's what I need you guys are here for. That was my intermission. I needed to take a couple of hits of weed and go fucking smoke a couple of drags of a cigarette. I need more coffee, though. I need sugar. I don't have any sugar. I got fucking... My son's got that cane, pure cane shit. Well, I'm going to go on to chapter 20. It's the only way to get to what you guys want eventually. So, chapter 20 is pretty long. Let's see if you can come along with me on the ride. It's called, as you can see, High School. Like high. By this time, life at home wasn't that bad, even with all the ups and downs I spoke about earlier. Mostly money problems. We were cruising down life's streets as a family. After I graduated from St. Mary's, which was 8th grade, I was accepted, I was accepted into one of the better Catholic high schools in Brooklyn, probably in all of New York. The name of it was Bishop Ford High School. I found out that I did not get a high enough score on the entry exam to get in. I fell 5 points shy of what I needed to get in. What happened was the coach of my Gil Hodges, remember the baseball, all-star team, was also the varsity coach of Bishop Ford. And they had a prestigious fucking program. He had spoken with Mom and Duck before I ever even took the test, before I was even on the all-star team. He had told them that if my scores weren't good enough, as long as they were close, he would get me in. He also told them that I was going to be the first freshman to start on the varsity squad. High school for me, it really was high school. Not high, not so much school. Bishop Ford was, well, that turned out to be a waste of time. At the time I started, I was enrolled in school. I never really got started. My freshman year, I was engulfed in being so pilled out that I was not even coherent. What I mean is, I wasn't just happy being high. I wanted to be so stoned that I didn't know where I was or what I was doing. I did not make a conscious decision to get like that, but I always ended up that way. I was an extremist to the extreme. I used to get up every morning, put on my slacks, jeans, a colored shirt. I always liked plain, solid colored shirts and still do. Have breakfast, put on whatever was needed to stay warm outside because it was freezing out there in the cold in the winter. Say goodbye to Mom, take my usual $5 for lunch. That $5 usually magically would turn into weed. get on the train, and take a 30-minute ride. When I reached the train station, that was closest to Bishopford. I exited. When I reached the train station that was closest to Bishopford, I exited the train and the train station. Then I would walk one extremely long block. In the winter, it felt like it was a half a mile away. It was about 2.5 city blocks long, actually, and reach Ford. This is the start of my freshman year, so it is September at this time. It's starting to get cold and only going to get colder. When you go to Ford from the direction I come from, you can either walk across the schoolyard into the school or go halfway around the block and go directly into the school by bypassing the schoolyard. I never bypassed the yard. Not once. I only made it across the schoolyard and into the school itself one time. Well, I lost where I was again. In one corner of the yard, there was an iron staircase that went up to the 3rd floor of the school. It was probably a fire exit. I say that probably because I never seen anyone go in or out the door at the top. Once I was in the yard, I'd head straight for the staircase. This is why I never made it into school. From day one, that's where I went when I went to school. I started out about on the 3rd or 4th step, and within week 1, I had moved to the top step. I do not remember the exact reason, but I did attend one class one day. It was a social studies class, and the teacher's name was Mr. Manley. I remember his name because of 2 things. One was that he was able to keep my interest the entire period. He was showing the class the proper way to read the New York Times. He was making us laugh, and he made it interesting. The other reason was his name. How could you forget a name like Manley? In my neighborhood, everyone wanted to be manly. In the beginning of my freshman year, I sold marijuana in the yard, at the top of those stairs. Within about 2 months, I was selling pills also. Mostly I was eating them. Quaaludes was my pill of choice. You know that already. My morning consisted of taking a couple of Quaaludes, if I had some, when I reached school. I would keep myself busy by reading newspaper, drinking a hot chocolate, or maybe just bullshitting with one of the other students. Probably about nothing important. After about 45 minutes, the pills start to take effect. I spent my time there in the schoolyard at the top of the stairs that led to the short roof, which was part of the school. I would sit on my staircase, usually freezing my ass off, until sometime around lunch. I did meet a few people while I was there. Mostly it was just other kids who could tell I was high, and they would ask if I had anything. So I sold a few pills here and there and made a few dollars. Sometimes I would sell them weed. All the time, I would smoke weed. Weed was always a constant. I didn't even consider it to be a drug. Most of the time that I was on those stairs, I couldn't keep my eyes open. And sometimes I would nod out for minutes or hours. I never knew which. When I woke up from nodding, or it just got too damn cold to sit there anymore, I would leave. Get back on the train and go back to my neighborhood. Depending on how early or late it was when I left the yard would determine where I would go from here. My choices at the time were that if it was after 8 in the morning and before 11, I could go for breakfast at Graham's house. Or if it was, again, after 8, but before 12 midday, I would go to my friend Lenny's house. For those of you that have cut school, Lenny's is the place where about 5 of us friends would go when cutting. Everyone who cuts has a place like this at some point. His dad had left years ago, and his mom went to work at 8. Most cutters have that one friend's house they could crash at. We started all going to Lenny's all the time. We would get there about 8:30 and hang out and get high all day. If it was afternoon, I was going to OTB, off-track betting. That's where hanging out there and trying to pick a few winners with the $5 mom gave me, if I didn't spend it on weed already. OTB was where you bet horses. You can bet any horse race anywhere. I really liked betting on the horses. It was exciting, mainly when you won, not so much when you lost. I was at OTB so much that the tellers who sell the betting tickets knew my name, and after a while they took my bets. You were supposed to be at least 18 years old to place a bet. I started betting at about just when I turned 15, maybe sooner. In the beginning, I used to get one of the old men in OTB to place the bet for me. Sometimes I would ask one of the older guys I knew. Either way, I would get action. The tellers and the manager eventually let me put the bets in by myself. They knew that either way I was going to get the bet in. Thus began my many years of gambling on horses. This is a defining time in my life. Although there are a few other defining moments, this defining moment, I believe, stands in higher ranking than the others. It affected my entire adolescence. If you take a second or two and think back, I'm sure you have a few defining moments in your life. Sometimes when you realize why you do and say certain things in certain situations, it helps when you make good decisions to realize back why you did things. I found out for me that when reflecting back, there seems to always be a connection to those moments. The only problem was it took me till I was 50. Well, really in my early 20s I did it. And yeah, that's all. Sometimes, depending on what has happened, if we pause before we act, we usually do not do what our first instinct tells us to do. I have found that I can make situations in life simpler just by pausing a second. In that second, you will find that moment and you will deal with the situation in the proper manner. At a later time, could be a day, could be 10 years, you will have something happen that triggers that moment and an amazing feeling of gratification. I hope you guys understood that. I'm trying to hide the spitballs. I didn't like it either. Fucking drooling. Stories are that good. I'm drooling because the stories are that fucking good. You missed a little bit about right. There goes some more. You saw it? Relentless. As long as he ain't saying nothing, as long as he's not saying nothing bad, I don't care who it is. Scuffed. Let's not talk about King. I said it earlier. Okay? He's allowed to be here. I don't care. As long as he doesn't say anything bad or do anything. He's a human being. I don't give a shit. Nobody talk about him, though. That's not what I'm here for. But I'll throw you the fuck out immediately. I told you, he's going to go about his life. I'm going to go about mine. And then that's how life goes. No. Not unless they say stuff. Anyone who brings up him or if he brings up anything, then yeah. Other than that, I don't care. I'm reading a story. It's not about anybody else. I'll make it easy. I'll just shut down. I don't give a shit. I read enough for today. It's after 3. So, whatever you want to do. As long as the conversation's good, that's great. I don't care. Don't matter. Know what I mean? It's all good. No? Who disagrees? Keep going, Relentless. You got it, girl. You guys got the chat. All right. The next one is it's called Tough Guy. Later in life, I come to realize one of my biggest mistakes growing up was, as I'm sure there are many of you reading this who also did this, I never talked about how I felt. Back then, the difference between me and most other people was the way I handled my pent-up emotions. When I was feeling hurt, I would get angry. When I was sad, I would get angry. Sometimes, even when I was happy, I would get angry. Nah, I would get high. It would usually take time before I really got angry. How I released my anger was, I would walk down the street and look for the first person who looked at me or did not move out of my way, and I'd basically yell some in a deep, threatening voice something to the effect of, "What the fuck are you looking at?" Or, "What the fuck is your problem?" Most times, if they did not just ignore me or look at me quickly and then turn and walk away, I would hit them. I was a douchebag. Then I would hit them again. By this point, I'm at my boiling point. I have fury in my eyes, and I would say something like, "Get the fuck out of here before I really hurt you." I would say 90% of the time, they were in such shock that they would not do a damn thing except walk away. The sad and bad part of it was, afterward, I would feel light as a feather. The release of that shit was so good for me that I can't explain it, but I felt light as a feather. As if a weight was lifted off my shoulders. The anger has subsided, and the reason I was upset most times was in the past and not to be thought about again until the need for fury was at hand again. I realize now that I never took that pause and never responded correctly. I needed someone to speak with or another way to release my anger. I probably could have gone to my father because he was cool as shit. He was cool as 4-day-old shit. I didn't because, like I said before, we were more friends than father and son. That's it. Page 2. Right, that's it. It's really only one page. That's that. I forgot what I just read. Yeah, if anybody really was paying attention, I'm talking deep. I get deep at some points, but I'm trying to get other people to think. You know, when you read it, it's different because you got your own. Stop at the spit. I can't help it. I'm trying. I'm gonna get teeth soon. It won't happen. Give me a month. You're gonna go there, buddy? I'll tell you again. I gave you one time. One time. Don't fuck with me. I'm not saying it again. I'm not. Look at my face, bro. You think I'm fucking playing? I ain't playing. What I told you on the phone, I fucking meant. I ain't joking, bro. I'm fucking live on stream and I'm telling you straight up. Don't fucking do it. Don't. Anyway, guys, listen. I'm going to shut it down because I'm about to get a little pissed off again. Yeah, bro. Yeah. I ain't playing. I ain't playing no fucking game here. I'll say it on live stream. Come near me, bro. I'm looking for you now. Now I'm fucking looking for you. Now you push me to where I'm fucking looking for you. I ain't playing. I don't give a fuck about live stream or anything fucking else. Now I'm looking for you, motherfucker. I told you don't fuck with me no more. End of story. Get rid of him, Frank, forever. Get him the fuck out of here. As soon as I find this fucking dumbass. Center. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry, guys. You guys don't know me very well, bro. I don't get mad. I haven't been a bad man in a long time. I'll say it on live stream. This guy's pushing me to where if I see him, I'm gonna fucking, it's gonna be bad. I am. I don't know if you saw it, but that's what I do. It's going to be bad. I'll say it. I don't give a fuck. I've been in prison. I don't give a fuck. I'm not worried about that. He doesn't get it. I'm not playing. I asked him before nicely. I told him, don't fuck with me no more. And he continues to do it. I'm not. Let's not talk about him, because let me get it off my chest and nobody say a fucking word, please. I don't give a fuck. He doesn't realize. I'm not playing. This ain't a game to me. I don't fight with people. I'm too fucking old and beat up. I got bar screws, plates holding me together. I don't bite. Yeah, he's a fucking, he's a child, bro. He got mad. Let me explain to you why he got mad. If anybody didn't see it on my thing, Who Cares came on. I'm going to tell you exactly what happened, so you know the truth, because I don't fucking lie, and you all know that. What happened was, Who Cares came on. Nobody chat nothing. Don't say a fucking word, please. Don't nobody say anything. And I want everybody to listen. Listen. I was on the stream, and I don't bring him up. I don't bring anybody up. And one person, Who Cares, I'll say who it was, I don't give a fuck. Who Cares wrote that about why King threw him off his stream on their thing. And I said to Who Cares, do me a favor, guy. I don't want to talk about nobody else on here. And I said, I don't want to talk about, and I couldn't for a split second think of his name. And I do that with my own fucking family members. And I said, what's his name? And I went on, do me a favor, I don't want to talk about nobody else. And he got mad about that. And the next morning I wake up to a text that told me, have a nice life, take it easy. I said to him, what the fuck are you talking about? So he texted me what it was. I fucking went back and watched it. I told him, you're a fool, bro. If that bothered you, you're a fucking child. I didn't say anything bad about you. I just changed the fucking... And he's like, oh, fuck you. He said, that's why I don't talk to streamers. And I told him, I'm not a fucking streamer, bro. I'm doing my book. That's my fucking thing. I don't care about streaming. I didn't say nothing bad about you. And he acted like a dick. And then I get a text from him today or yesterday that he wants to fight with me. I knew he was either drunk, on drugs, or something or VP left. No, I didn't ask. I didn't care. I even went outside. He's telling me, come to my jungle. I said, bro, come over here. And I called him. I kept trying to call him. He wouldn't answer the fucking phone. He's texting me over and over about, come to the jungle. I'm telling him, Now he's got me nuts. So I go outside. I tell him, come here. I'm outside right now waiting for you. Finally, he answers the phone, and I tell him on the phone, bro, I'm not playing. I'm not a fighter. I don't fight no more. I'm coming there. I'm going to stab you in your fucking neck. I'm not playing. This ain't a game to me. Leave me alone. Leave me out of your fucking mouth. Leave me alone. And I hung up. Didn't hear from him again. Then he comes on here and starts this shit. That's why I got so mad, because I told him one more fucking time. One more time you bother me, talk about me, I'm going to fucking come looking for you. Yeah, I figured he got stoned, drunk, something. I don't want to talk bad about the man. I can say a bunch of shit about him if I wanted to. I don't want to. That's not my style. We're done. Go away. When I don't want somebody in my life, get the fuck out of my life. That's me. If people don't like that, I don't give a fuck. If YouTube throws me off for making threats, I don't care. Don't matter to me. Nobody's going to do that to me. He's a jackass for that. I was very friendly with him. You guys know how much shit I did for him. I stayed with him all fucking night because he had to go to thing. I helped him with probation. I did this. I did that. He helped me at times too when I needed it. That's what friends are supposed to do. You don't get mad and act like a 2-year-old because somebody said, what's his name? Especially at my age, because I do that to my fucking kids. I turn to my son, I say, your sister, what's her name? So, are you kidding me? Now I'm done. Yeah, yes, Relentless, yes. I knew he was trying to get rid of me once VP stayed with him a few days. He was telling me, he was saying things. So, I knew it was coming. It was just a matter of when. He didn't treat me like garbage, Alta. That's not true. Over this stupid shit. We were good up until that point. We were fine. He tried to, the shit he did when he would yell at me online, on the thing for you guys, bro, that shit was all content. That was all content. Especially after the day he hit me when I told him, don't touch me, and he touched me, and I told him to go fuck himself, and I walked out of the car. He thought it was a joke. Next day, he called me. I told him, what the fuck do you want? I'm just an easy guy. If I don't like you in my fucking world, I don't want you in my world, go away. That's it. It's that simple. There's millions of people in the world. Why would you want to stay around me, a fucking jerk off, and somebody who doesn't want to be around you? I'm going to be nasty the whole fucking time. Move on with your life. I move on with mine, and we're happy. It's not that hard. It really isn't. Yeah, I'm not, please. You don't know me, Hot Frank. Hot Frank, you don't know me, guy. I'll go with the book. You'll find out what type of person I am when I want to be. That's none of my business, Relentless. None of my business what he does. I'm not that person. Don't ask me shit like that. I'm sorry. I'm not mad at you. Don't ask me stuff about him. I'm not him. If you go on his channel, and he'll tell you whatever you want about me because he's a jerk off. Doesn't bother me. As long as he stays away from me, we're good. I don't owe him shit. Tell him to come collect, Muse. Go to his site later, tell him to come collect. Come on. Right. He doesn't know, you don't understand. I'm not that guy no more. I haven't been violent and bad in years. Years. That's no joke, Red. I got pissed off one time and I gave myself a fucking black eye because there was nobody to hit. But I was a dumbass. Hot Frank, don't even worry about it, bro. I am not. You think I'm worried? You don't know me very well, guy. I get to a point where you gotta kill me. I don't give a fuck. And I'm not playing. This ain't a joke. How I see a threat is this. If you're gonna threaten me, that means you're willing to kill me. So be prepared for the other way around also. So don't come at me unless you're ready to fucking go to the end. Because I lived a great life. I lived a very fucking brilliant life. I'm not afraid to go out. So unless you're ready to go out, don't come at me. I know. He told me that before too. I'm not going back out. I'm not being a jerk off again and walking for no reason. It's not a fight, Frank. I don't fight. You guys don't understand that. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. I don't fight. Not anymore. I don't fight. I don't have to explain that to you. There's nothing more I can say than those words alone. And I will win. And I don't fight. Fighting means that you're trying to hurt someone. I don't fight. I try not to use my hands if I don't have to. No, he's a selfish prick. He's acting like him. Listen, one question I got. I don't want to talk about that shit no more, but one question. To get mad over what I told you he got mad over just shows that he's not mentally with me, because that's ridiculous. All right, here's what I'm saying. No more talk about him. I'm done. I'm done. He knows where I go. He knows every day where I walk. He knows how I walk. He wants me, come find me. I don't want to hear his name no more. No, apparently not, scuffed. Apparently not. It was a one-way street. Not when you get mad about that. You can even watch it on my stream. I forgot which episode I said it. Watch how I said it. I just forgot for a second. I'm no rat, baby. I don't talk about nobody. I don't do that shit. I never have. Why would I start now? I'd rather take care of it the wrong way. Thank you, Walter. I heard. What did I just say? One more time. Frank, I'll take your fucking mod away, bro. I don't want to hear about him no more. I'm done. I'm done. You want to make jokes about him? Go right ahead. I don't give a fuck. He's a jerk off, but whatever. I don't care. You guys care more than I do. I'm very simple. I'm a simple man. Like I said, you're either in my life or you're out. I got nothing. There's nothing left for me to talk about or say. Yes, I read chapter 21. I'm going to 22. 22 goes back into my family. I go back to explaining about Duck. And remember, he became a bookie. I don't know, for those of you that don't remember. He was a sanitation worker. And he became, after being a sanitation worker, he became a bookie once he met my mother and saw that type of lifestyle. The name of this is Who is Really Your Friend? Like I said, I'm done about that stuff. I'm moving on. When you are taking action on sports and someone else is the money man, which is Duck's situation, the guy who backs you is the money man. It is not easy to make money unless you have big players who lose more than they win. I emphasize lose. So, let's say you got 20 guys who are all small bettors earning that if they lose, you earn 100 or 2 in a week. That's not a lot. And this is nowadays it would be more. But back then, you gotta remember, there's no online, there's no phones, you can't bet anyway, you gotta go through the bookie. And if you get 20 to 40 guys in a neighborhood, that's a lot of guys. Now, if they're winning or on a hot streak, that could really hurt you when you have, only that many people. Being that they will only allow themselves to lose a couple of $100 a week. If they're winning, there is no amount to stop on. So let's say a guy hits for $1,000 in 1 week. It could take you up to 5 weeks to make back what you paid out to him. And the amount of winnings from all your players is greater than your losses. You have to go to the backers, the people who gave you the money, and get the money to pay out. Having this information as an adult, in my opinion, it's a risky business. Duck had about 15 small players that would bet through him. So you can imagine the tough time he had making money. Well, anyway, we survived. We managed to get by with whatever he made and what Mom was making dealing cards. Duck was talked into getting involved with this guy. Let's call him Joe Black, because that's his name. From what I understand, here is what supposedly went down. This scam, before I read it, was done by a whole bunch of different mob guys back in this was early 80s. And it's amazing how the mafia worked back then and how they could screw whoever the fuck they want. Anyway, one person has to be the owner of the company. There was no company, just a dummy name. Another person who is the fake owner is their co-signer, signing any name that pops in their head or have one prepared. They, being the big boss, whoever that is, has an inside guy at the bank who is in on it. He's the loan officer. Voila. Walk in, sign a few papers, and a few days later come back to pick up the cash. It all looks legit because supposedly the loan officer checked everything out. So there is no one above him in the bank that would think he didn't check out the company. Sounds real simple. It was real simple. Duck was to be the owner of the company. His friend Joe was to be the co-signer. Don't know who the guy in the bank was. Now, remember that the big boss is going to get their cut. I believe they went for $25,000 loan. Duck's cut was supposed to be 10 grand. Everything went off without a hitch. Duck went to the bank with Joe a few days later. When they exited the bank, they were smiling and had $50,000 in their pockets because they did it twice. When they exited the bank, they were smiling and had 50 grand in their pockets. When they parted ways, Duck had his 10 grand and Joe left with 40. Can you trust a wannabe wise guy? In this case, nope. As it turns out, Duck's so-called buddy, Joe, turns out to be a scumbag. He tried to make some moves with the big boss's money, and he ended up blowing most of it. He had 20 grand left instead of giving the boss at least 20. He took out 10 more as his cut. Naturally, when Joe goes to bring the big boss's money, $10,000, who was expecting $30,000, he's going to be pissed off. Now, Joe is in a bind, so he needed a way out. He did not want the boss to think it was his fault. He needed a scapegoat. And there was Duck. Joe told the boss that Duck screwed them. Now, Duck gets a phone call, and the boss asks him to come to his social club, and he wants to talk to him. Duck goes thinking that he's probably going to say, good job. When he gets there, he goes to the table that the boss is at and sits. Duck attempts to tell his side of the story. The truth was for nothing. Who's he going to believe? Duck or his brother-in-law? I'm not reading anything, so. Yes, Joe was the boss's brother-in-law. The boss wants his money and tells Duck, I don't give a fuck what happened. I want my money or someone is going to pay. Well, Duck had no choice but to take the weight for it because Joe was nowhere to be found. Duck ended up working it out with the big boss. He would continue to take action, only now his percentage of the winnings would be lowered and the big boss would start taking that off to $30,000. I found out a lot later in life that Joe wasn't around because his brother-in-law, the boss, had told him to leave New York for a while. I guess he really knew what the truth was. He had to keep his reputation up and let people know you don't do that kind of shit. It was either kill Joe or send him away. Duck eventually paid off the whole debt. No one would see Joe Black for a long time. Several years later, the federal government came looking for Duck. They wanted to talk to him about the loan. They never did. Duck was the man who stayed with my mom the longest. I think they were together about 12 years. After a few years, Duck moved his bookie operation to a small one-room apartment and about 4 blocks from where we lived, next to the highway, and was not home a lot. He and a few friends usually would be there playing cards and taking action. This man was like my father. Now he's not around anymore. There was a young cross-eyed girl who used to come by the apartment. They would send her to the store for food and stuff, and she was basically their waitress. She was 18 years old. One day, Duck was there alone, and she came there. Long story short, he ended up banging her. This would go on for a while. Mom, as usual, eventually found out what was going on. Bye-bye, Duck. But that wasn't until I was in my 20s. As fate would have it, the girl ended up getting pregnant, and after he and Mom split up, he lived in an apartment for a while. I really didn't see him much after that. Once in a while, we'd run into each other around the neighborhood. Duck ended up marrying that girl, and she would eventually get her cross eyes uncrossed, and having, I believe, 3 children with Duck. I will say this for Duck, and you could quote me. He was more of a father to my brother and I than either of our fathers ever were. Yep. All right. It's 3:30. No, the babies weren't cross-eyed, not from what I know. She was pretty, but she was cross-eyed. She was an 18-year-old kid that ran the neighborhood. I knew her. Anyway. DuckTales. Joe hot? I don't know. He's a fucking old man back then. Nah, he was an old man. Joe was an old man. Joe turned out to be a real scumbag. It was supposed to be his, thank you. He was supposed to be his best friend because they were together for like years before this happened. I mean, they did a lot of shit together for like four years before he turned on him and did that to him. Yeah. It was interesting. It's amazing. That's like my point before I started. It's amazing how in the mafia world, it don't matter. Money was key. Power was more important. So, hey, thank you everybody who was here. Next time, please, let's stay away from talking about anything else. Yeah, it was. That's why I wrote the book. And I didn't even, Relentless, I'll be honest with you. You haven't heard nothing yet. And I know everybody would say that, but my book gets more violent and drugs as it goes on. And you just say, how did you even survive? How did you do that? Why would you do that? Like, were you that fucking out of your mind back then? And the answer is yes. I can't recap views. I'm sorry. You can watch it after I post it. I appreciate that though. Yeah, it's all right, Hot. Don't worry about it. I'm not worried about it. You see, I calmed down now. The violence is coming and the drugs. Patience, Red, patience. If I give you everything at once, then the book will be over. So we'll do. I'm gonna go every day. I'm trying to go later for Hot Frank. So the best I can do is 2 o'clock. I like doing 12, but I wait till 2:15 for Frank, if I can. So. Yeah, I know. I've already read it once. This is the second time. I've read it more than 2 times, but I'm saying, I mean, on recording. Yes, Scuff, yes. It helps me. Yes, it helps. Yeah, he gets up late. No, he's 6 hours away. He's 6 hours minus Eastern Standard Time from where I am. Yeah, Hot Frank and Polarized, I believe. Asked me to do it later. Yeah. So I accommodate as best I can. I know 2 o'clock ain't that bad for everybody else. Right. You're 6 hours earlier than the EST. I appreciate Relentless. Thank you. I really do. And it's probably a lot better if you're reading yourself, because then you can take your time and you see where I have the highlights and, you know, what's supposed to be funny. It's in parentheses, or I'm missing a lot of points. That's why Frank said I got to do it again. What did he ask? The black baby. I don't know what that means. Hopefully, the cross-eyed duck wife. Yeah, duck's wife. She was cross-eyed. No joke. Everybody in the neighborhood, we knew her because that's what her name. She was the only cross-eyed girl in the neighborhood. So, but I know her now. I became friends with her years later. I went to visit Duck years after he would move. He moved out of New York, went to Texas. I don't have none of that in the book. HFD. Oh, Hot Frank. He only asked for 10. Muse. I told him I'd give him more than that. If he could get the book out there and we can make money with it, more power to him. I need all the help I could get. Your vote don't count. Sorry. Thank you. I'm glad you didn't write rape. I prefer rake. Thanks for not writing rape. Because you could have wrote, I don't want to rape Ron. 0.08. I'll tell you what, believe you don't know me very well, but if he does what I hope he can do and help me with this shit, he'll get his 10%, but I will definitely toss more around. I'm not a stingy guy. I'm not cheap. I'm not frugal. Jab. I'm not frugal at all. All right, guys, it's 4:25. I gotta say good day, y'all. I apologize again about losing my mind a little bit before. When I'm mentioning his names. I don't know what you're talking about, Frank. Frank, were you a detective before you became a good guy? Whatever. Thank you. I know. I'm only kidding around. Don't take me serious when we're off the thing. I'm joking. I don't take this seriously. I really don't. I don't take this serious at all. This is, for me, if my life will be even more unfulfilled as it is, but even more fulfilled if me and Frank can get this shit out there. Right, content, that's all that matters. That's the only thing I will say. All that matters to him is content. And he's trying to use me now for content. But that's not going to happen. Just leave me alone. So simple. It's sad the life let me say this. It's sad the life I lived, but it was also a great life. And the one thing that I still do have that I had back then is I know a lot of people. So I'm not worried about anything. All right, guys. Good day. Take it easy. Thank you. I'll be on tomorrow. Like I said, I come on about 10 to 2. I'll leave it here by itself, and then by 2 o'clock, 2:15, I'm going. See you guys later. I was upset, Scuffed. I was pissed. I don't know why. I don't. I didn't know in the past why. I got to talk to Scuffed now. Now you kept me here, Scuffed. Good job. Good job, Scuffed. It's a good question. When I was younger, and you're going to find out, I was not just violent. I was extremely violent. I would pick anything up that was near me. I'd hit you with it. I'd run home, get a baseball bat. A kid got there. I'm going to show you how fucked up I was. And everybody in my neighborhood knew. One day, I'm going to tell one quick story. Scuff, this is for you. I want you to understand, this is the kind of person I was when I was a teenager. And you don't lose that as an adult. One day, I went out one night and I smoked a lot of angel dust, took a lot of pills, and I can't tell you for the life of me what I did that night. Can't tell you. I was 16 at the time. A few days before that, I got into a fight with this kid. Well, not really a fight. What happened was, I got to tell you this so you know that. The kid was much bigger than me. I punched him in his face. He jumped on top of me in front of OTB, and he said to me, you're not going to hit me if I let you up. And my friend came out, and I told my friend, said, Ron, you're not going to hit him. You're not going to hit him. Long story short, as soon as the kid let me go, I jumped up and I fucking hit him again. And my friend Lloyd was like, all right, he grabbed me, and that was it. So anyway, I go out one night, and I'm smoking angel dust, and I'm fucked up off my face. And the next day, I go by OTB, where I go every day. I got there about 12 o'clock, and one of the kids from the neighborhood comes over to me and says, did you hit so-and-so with a bat last night? And I said, what? No, I was high. I was out doing whatever I was doing because I didn't know what I was doing. From that moment on, I don't know if I hit the kid in the head with the bat, but the rumor went around my neighborhood that I was so stoned that I batted the kid out because of what happened a few days before that. I'll tell you the truth. God's honest truth. Did I do it? I don't know. Could I have done it? Definitely. The kid lived right down the block from me. I could have seen him, ran upstairs, grabbed the baseball bat, and just fucking wailed on him. Kid was in a coma for, I think it was 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Came out. They asked him, who did this to you? No memory. So that's it. I just told that because as you hear the stories, you're going to understand that that's who I was. I didn't play around. And do I think I did it? Yep. I definitely think I did it. Do I remember it? Not at all. That's how the kind of person I was back then. So when I get that angry, that mad, when I feel my life is in danger, I black out. I go somewhere else. I go to a whole different place than the normal people do. And also because of the life I lived, and I had to do that to survive in my fucking neighborhood at times. You know, I'm not a guy to play with. It's not a game to me. Can you understand that, Scuffed? All right, bud. Talk to you guys tomorrow. Have a great day. I'm out. Thank you. Thank you for being here. I don't care. Don't care. It's easy to find me. Have a good one.